Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. If you saw in the last video, we finished up our concrete steps on the front side of the new garage addition. And today what I want to work on is starting to bring this project to a close. And what we need to do to start wrapping this project up is finish the landscaping on the front side of this rock wall here. As you can see on the other side of the stairs, we've got our boulders all on the bottom as a border. And then we place these smaller boulders in there as kind of a rock garden, some number 3, some really large gravel type stone, anywhere from softball size to golf ball size stuff in here, with then some larger rocks mixed in, plus some shrubs. And we can't really do that until we get all of this graded to on grade. And that's what we're gonna be working on today, is if we wanna add a sidewalk in here to tie this into that, and then into the steps on the front side of the porch there. We're gonna have a sidewalk over there, plus a large patio here. We need to make room for about 2 inches of gravel and then 4 inches of concrete. So, I think we got a little overzealous with adding fill in here, so we need to shave this down. And rather than trucking all of that extra material out of here in the dump trailer and taking it somewhere, before we start doing the landscaping here, a good spot to waste that would just be over the hillside here and kind of lessen the slope a little bit, and it'll give us the opportunity to shape this up a little bit more as well. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, is getting this on grade, taking the excess material, filling in this slope a little bit more. And then what I'd like to do after we get this on grade here is bring in some gravel, about 2 inches worth of gravel, and start getting this out of the mud. That way, if you look over at our patio over here, I've been brooming this off every single day. And just from walking in this dirt and everything, it just keeps getting more and more filthy. So I really want to get us up out of the mud here. So that's the goal. Grade this out, put some gravel down. And then we probably won't pour concrete on this fall. We'll, give it some more time to settle in, let the gravel get compacted down naturally. And then probably sometime next spring, we'll start worrying about pouring the sidewalk, the patio, and then the sidewalk from the patio to the stairs. Now, an incredibly handy tool to have for this type of work is a laser level transit. And I bought this thing, I don't know, probably 2 years ago. And I remember when I bought it, it seemed expensive at the time. I think it was like $600 or something like that. And I was like, am I really going to use this thing that much? Is it worth it? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it. And that way I always have it. And I can't tell you how invaluable this tool has been. I have used it more than I ever thought I would. It's kind of like the dump trailer or the excavator. It seems kind of expensive at first, but then once you have it and you realize how much you use it, worth every penny. So there's three parts, all right? You've got the tripod and the laser level. Then you've got your grading rod and you've got your receiver. And I'll try to explain as best I can how this thing works if you've never used one before. Any of you guys who are used to using these, forgive me, this is going to be a bit redundant for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is to set our laser up outside of our working area, so that way we don't have to move it, because this is going to be our frame of reference for everything we do. And if it's in the way of where we're going to be digging, we're going to have to move it and then reset our zero. After that, this is a self-leveling laser, so it doesn't have to be perfectly level, but it's got to be close. And then literally all you do is hit the power button. It's going to sit there and think for a minute, and then it's calibrating, leveling itself, and then the laser will start spinning and shooting out a level laser 360 degrees. And then we're going to go ahead and take our grading rod and turn our receiver on. So what this is going to do is basically just tell us on this level plane, give us a measurement reading. And where this is on the stick doesn't matter. We just need to know what it is so that we can then reference that when we go and measure over there and over there and over here to see if we're level. So I'm going to turn this on, and it's going to tell us when it is perfectly level with the plane of that laser. And the nice thing is it not only gives you a light indicator, but it also beeps at you too. So when it's low, it beeps slow, and then when you're high, it beeps fast, and when you're right in the sweet spot, it should be a solid. And you can tell just how sensitive this thing is. Okay, so now we know that that level plane of that laser is about 4 feet up from the concrete. Okay, so now if we go and measure our concrete level on the stairs over here, hopefully that's a little bit lower so we can establish some fall from this concrete to that concrete, and we can grade this out with a little bit of fall on it to get water to drain away from the house. So if I look here, this is saying it's low, and then you can kind of just eyeball. So right there, you can see we've got about 2 inches from the bottom of the grading rod to the concrete. And we can actually find out exactly how much that is. So if we're at 4 feet now, we can take our grading rod and slide this up, and it'll tell us exactly where that's level at. So it looks like it's reading level right at 4.3. So we actually have 3 inches of fall from the top of the concrete on the patio there to the top of the stairs, which means that we can go ahead and, we're going to drop this whole dirt pad down about 6 inches from there, and then we'll establish a 3-inch fall from the edge of the concrete out to here. That way, like I said, we've got room for 2 inches of gravel and 4 inches of concrete. And so again, if we know this is at 4 feet right there, we're going to want this to be at 4'6". And then as we're digging, we'll dig for a little bit, come out and check grade. This actually looks like it's good right here. So right there is 4'6". So this right here is 6 inches below this. And that's what we're going to be shooting for this whole side of the new garage addition here. So with all that said, hopefully that makes sense to you guys if you've never done this before, but we're going to go ahead and get started digging. And like I said, we're going to dig for a little bit. We'll get out, check grade, a couple different spots, see where we're high, see where we're low, and then just keep working at it. Well, there we go. That looks a whole lot better. Looks like it's on grade. Let's grab the grading rod, see how close we are. Right there. And then halfway out, we want to be a little bit lower than over there so we have fall. Right about there, looks like we've got about 2 inches worth of fall from that point to here. And if we move out to here, yeah, it looks like we've got about 3 or 4 inches of fall here. So that's good. If this is 0, and then here we are 2 inches lower, and then out here we're 4 inches lower, that's exactly what we want. That way the water will shed from the patio, away from the house, and down the hill. Let's go ahead and go grab some rock. Well guys, there we go. We got it all graded out and top dressed with some 2B limestone. I can't tell you how good it feels to have this whole section up here out of the mud. We've been dealing with this since we finished this garage project here, and you know, a year of trudging through the mud on the front side of the house here and all the dust. It's really nice to finally get this cleaned up, and now when it rains we can still come out here and enjoy this view and these stairs that are now done. You know, much like this cement DIY stairs that we did here, everything we do here on the project is one step at a time. You know, first we did the landscaping on this side, then we had to stop to get these stairs installed, and then we needed to get this graded out so that we could use the excess material to shape up this wall here, which we got done with the excavator, got it all tamped in. And now that this is all shaped up and done, now we can start working on this. So, you know, when you do things yourself, things go by a lot slower, but another benefit to that is it gives you time to save up for them and pay for cash with things and not have to take out loans to do kind of big projects. I mean, if I was to pay somebody to come out here and do all this hardscaping, we probably would have had to have taken out a loan. I mean, the stairs, the landscaping, all the fill, everything. When you spread it out and do it yourself, you know, you just pay for things as you go, and it's a lot more manageable that way financially. And I don't know how you guys manage your household finances, but we have worked really hard to get as close to out of debt as we can. I mean, we still owe on the house, but yeah, the last thing I want to be doing at this point in my life is taking out more loans, and that's just kind of how we do things. Now, I don't want to go down a whole big financial independence rabbit hole, but if any of you guys are interested in that kind of content, I watch and listen to a ton of Dave Ramsey. Let me know in the comments below if you guys know who he is or have ever listened to what he preaches. But a lot of what he talks about is that debt is bad, right? The borrower is slave to the lender. And when you are borrowing money to pay for pickup trucks and tractors and all of this stuff, your monthly income every month is being evaporated away by the end of the month before you even get a chance to think about savings. One of the big themes that he talks about a lot is if you can't afford to pay for something with cash, then you can't afford it, plain and simple. That's the problem, is people who otherwise shouldn't be able to go out and buy a $70,000 or $100,000 pickup truck now all of a sudden can make the monthly payment on it, and they think they can afford it, and that's where they get themselves into trouble. And we get accused all the time of, oh, Adam over at Hometown Acres, he's got so much money, he does all these things. Well, we do a lot of the work ourselves, that's the biggest thing, and we're smart with our money. We don't go out and buy the most expensive thing. Like I said before, I drive a 2016 pickup truck with 102,000 miles on it. I'm not driving some Ford F-350 that's brand new that cost 100 grand. So the things that we do own, I bought them smart. I didn't go out and buy the most expensive thing. I got something that'll get the job done. So I just wanted to address that as we're nearing completion of the landscaping on the front of the house. And you know, some people might look at this that are just joining the channel now and say, wow, that's really nice. Adam must be made of money. It's not. We did all of this work ourselves. I guess my main point is when people say, Adam, how do you afford all this? The answer is simple. We have worked really hard to get out from debt. We've paid off student loans. We've paid off vehicles. Don't get me wrong. When I first graduated college, we had a ton of student loan debt. We had a car payment. We did all of those stupid things because in order to have a car, you have to buy it, right? And when you graduate from college, you don't have any money. So yeah, I was forced into getting a car payment in order to have a car to get to and from work. But what I did was once I paid that off, I kept it for longer and started saving for the next one. And then I went and paid for cash with the next one. And when you start getting out from under a pile of debt, what it does is it starts freeing up some of your monthly income for projects like this. So I guess that's my main point. If you're interested in hearing more or listening more to that type of content, go check out Dave Ramsey on YouTube. And he also has a podcast and a radio show. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give us a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.